All right, welcome to the Town Square Podcast, where advocates for a better Newton County bring their issues to the messy middle.
You don't even know how to say it without a guess, man. You're out of rhythm.
Where is everybody?
I know. Well, we are still advocates. Of
a better Newton County.
A better Newton County. We're going to talk about some messy middle stuff today.
Where our aim is
unity and not uniformity. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's all the same. This episode of the Town Square Podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Appalachia Group Insurance.
When it comes to protecting my family, my home, and my car, I trust Bobby Stevens at the Appalachia Group Insurance Company. Bobby and his partner Matt McLean are both licensed in Georgia and Tennessee, and they have been insurance experts for a combined over 36 years.
What makes the Appalachia Group different? Well, they're independent. That means they're not locked into just one carrier. They shop around for you to find the best coverage at the best price, from auto, home, and life insurance to commercial policies, and even special event coverage. They've got you covered.
And let me tell you, Bobby isn't just a great agent. He's a trusted advisor. He's winsome, likable, and responsive. Every conversation I've had with him leaves me more confident that my insurance needs are in good hands.
That's right. So if you're looking for insurance that works for you, not the other way around,
call my guy Bobby Stevens at the Appalachia Group Insurance today. You can reach him at 770-728-1880. That's 770-728-1880. Or send him an email at bobby@appgroupsins.com. That's Bobby at appgroupins for insurance.com. Well, I have been looking forward to sitting down and just the two of us chatting for a while.
Yeah.
Because, I know we have all these guests, and they're great.
We don't get the chance to do this very often.
I know, and so I wanted to kind of, we talked about just kind of bringing it back to day one.
Yeah.
Day one, when we had the conversation of how do we create an environment where people can agree to disagree, or just to have that kind of civil discourse. And and what we've seen is really just surprising. I mean, to me, it's humbling too.
Man, to
see the community's response to finally a place where we can have these conversations, and and even educate people with what some of these local influencers, what their roles are, what they do, and how they help our community. So
I tell you, you said the right word, humbling. Like for me, it's humbling because, a lot of times, like, I have tons of thoughts and ideas that run through this big head, and probably half of them never get out of my head, and actually into fruition. And so I remember, like you said, going back to even before the first time we met, when I'm sitting in my office, and just like, I think I remember exactly, like it was like I was watching a Facebook thread of some article that we posted online, and then just the thread was just so horrible. And it was just like people are just talking over each other, and nobody's hearing and I'm reading this, and I'm like, well, that's actually a good perspective, but they're not listening.
Right.
And well, they just said something that's kind of decent too, but they're not listening. And I'm just like, nobody's listening to each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to find a way to get people to say, you know what, we got more probably in common with each other than we think we do.
Yeah.
But we can't figure that out until we get into the middle.
Right.
And it's messy because the being in the middle forces you to say, okay, my extreme comfort positions may have some holes in them.
Right.
And your positions actually may have some truth to it that I don't want to acknowledge.
I don't want to hear that.
Yes. And that is that, but to what you said also, man, just amazing to look back and see the response, the folks who are willing to come on and talk. Like I often say, even as a journalist, I've gotten people to come here and say things that I wouldn't have gotten them to say on record as a news reporter, because it's a different kind of venue for people to, and I think they feel comfortable being able to talk about the things, knowing that we're not out here trying to play gotcha. We're not out here trying to, smear your campaign or anything. Just want people to hear from a different type of energy, I guess. Yeah.
And it makes all of those bullet points that we might hold on these extremes. It makes them human.
Absolutely.
When a human sits in front of you and says, "Hey, here's why I voted like I did for that city ordinance about cemeteries."
Yeah. Because
here's
somebody
how it affected
listens
me.
like, okay, that's so
you're not just crazy.
Yeah, you're not just doing it because you're a bleeding heart liberal, or because you're a ultra conservative Trump supporter Republican.
Right.
You actually had a thought process behind it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it humanizes the politics.
Right. And the part I love about at least long form conversational podcast is someone has the time to explain it.
Absolutely.
Right? You can't in 140 characters online say, "Here's what I think about everything that I thought about before I voted for that one thing." It's impossible.
Can't do it. You can't do it in an article even. You can't do it. Like, it's just, you only have so much space. And so, yeah, man, you talk about, the fact that we're when this hits maybe a week before Thanksgiving, that's probably up on the top of the list of things I'm thankful for, is looking back and seeing, like, wow, this thing has, and I'm speaking for me, maybe, I don't know about you, but like, it has exceeded my expectations, even like some of the things that we've been able to do and the reach that we've been able to get. I'm thankful for it, man, because I really do feel like it is moving the needle a little bit in this community, helping people to understand we can have conversations about difficult and sometimes even taboo subjects and come away and not feel like I gotta hate you because of it.
Right. Yeah.
Even if I don't agree.
That's right.
I walk away feeling like I don't have to hate you because of it,
Right. And I think that's that whole part in our tagline, is that we don't have to be uniformed and look exactly the same and say exactly the same. We can believe different things and still gather together in unity for what's best for our community.
Right.
Even if we have slightly different perspectives on what might be best, we can get to what's good.
Yeah.
We can all get to what's good.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm gonna put you on the spot, Trey. What do you feel like? What's so far? I mean, we've done, what episode are we up to now?
This will be 64, 65.
I was about to say, we're in the 60s, bro. We're almost cracking the century mark, man. But we got to have a party or something when we have like our 100th episode. We got to do something special for that.
Our 50,000th download or something.
Yeah, something like that. But here's what I was going to ask you. What would you say, has been one of the, if not the most, I guess, quintessential episones that really succinctly purports our vision?
Man, that's a good one.
And I know that's a big question, like, because you got 60 episodes, you got to think back at all of them, but like, maybe even just the first that pops to your head.
Well, all right, so just some that I've had really fun with.
Yeah.
Like we had attorney Stephanie Lindsay come on, right in the midst of all of the stuff that was going on with indictments and stuff, and she was bold enough to come on here and go, "Hello, just here's my side. Here's the way I see things."
Right.
That's messy. That's the messy middle.
It's about as messy as you can get.
Yeah,
man.
And there were lots of stories flying around, and she was able to go, "Well, here's my perspective."
Exactly.
And I just loved that she had that opportunity, had that platform. And then, like, not that there's something counter to that that's exactly opposite, but recently we had on Marshall McCart.
Yeah.
Who
and I hate that I wasn't there for that, because I was but I listened to it though.
Yeah, has his own blog site, the Piedmont Chronicles, but he comes at things from a different perspective. He hears different stories, and he was just able to share in a non-biased way. Just like, hey, here's the way I see things.
Right.
That's just an example of maybe things on different parts of the spectrum. Human people telling their story and their perspective. Yeah. For our community to then decide what they want to decide from.
Yes.
We're not telling anybody you have to believe this way or think this way or here's the right philosophy.
Yes.
You certainly have yours, I have mine, and our guests have theirs.
Yeah.
But I think it's just to have the conversations, to put it out there for the community to go, oh, let me sift through some of this. Let's do a couple of episodes even, right? Let me get some different perspectives. And then with the goal just being not just that unity part where we're all Newtonians, we're all, East Metro Atlanta folk now, because we can't even say just Newton anymore. We've had Rockdale folks on here.
We can't, man.
But to see like that, we can all, for the most part, get along in that messy middle.
Yes.
But it's still a little bit messy. and let's just not avoid it.
Right.
Like, don't avoid the messiness. Let's just talk about it. Like,
Yeah.
if it's messy, it's messy.
I think one of the worst things that could have ever happened, and it was probably well-intentioned, but I remember, and I don't know, maybe you heard this too growing up. I heard growing up, don't ever talk to people about religion or about politics. Like if you're sitting at the dinner table or you're out somewhere public, do not bring that up. Don't bring that. I think that's the worst advice that we could have gotten. And the reason why I believe that is because, just like what you said, let's not avoid it. And in so doing, teaching avoidance, what we've actually done is we've forfeited the ability to learn how to have these conversations in a way that's constructive. So my thought process with it is, I don't think we should have been telling people to avoid having these conversations. I think we should have been telling people, here's how to have these conversations, and doing it by avoiding the vitriol that often comes with our political landscape, our cultural landscapes, all of that. Let's not avoid it. Let's teach you how to do it the right way.
And if we can be a part of like presenting some of that online, where online is the place
oh gosh,
it's like algorithms point you in the direction of far left or far right. And if we can just be that voice in the middle going, hey, a lot of us are right here in the middle. Let's talk about the middle for a minute. So,
no doubt.
What about for you? What are some of the episodes that you feel like just really did it?
For me, it's kind of like a collection of a certain type of episode. And so for me, I'm always a big, I hate misinformation. I hate it with a passion. That's probably why I'm a journalist, because I hate, and a pastor for that matter, because I hate misinformation, whether you're talking about the Bible or whether you're talking about a millage rate or whether you're talking about a sports team. I hate misinformation. So when we get people on that have talked about, okay, I know this is what y'all think we do. Like Sarah Hall. Yeah. That was one of my favorite episodes because, it was a lot of, I know this is what y'all think we do. I know this is what you think we're about, but here's how this really happens. Right. A lot of people think that, okay, why do we keep bringing chicken restaurants here? They just want us to have chicken. They don't want it's not that they don't want us to have anything. There's lots of metrics. There's lots of other things involved. And I've heard people after those types of episodes actually give feedback and say, wow, that was really informative. Right. I did not know that. Yeah. And to me, whenever I hear that or whenever we have that kind of a guest on, to me, that's when I feel like, man, we're doing good work. Because for every person who says, I didn't know that, that's different than what I thought, to me, that's one less bad piece of information that's going to pollute the stratosphere. Yeah, absolutely. and hopefully help people to have a better understanding of how things work. This is funny, a funny line that I always chuckle at when I see it, and it says something to the effect of, you'll think everything is a conspiracy when you don't know how things work. Now, are there some conspiracies out there? Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. But everything is not a conspiracy. Everything is not a, what we think it is when we think conspiracy. But if you don't know how things actually work, you'll be seduced into believing that everything is that. Right. And so those episodes, like with Sarah Hall, I loved that one. I loved, obviously, like you said, Stephanie Lindsay was amazing. But even with and I'm sorry, I'm so bad with names sometimes. The lady who I think from Rockdale County just came on and talked about why she switched her party allegiance. Like
CEO Janice Van Ness.
And I should know that as much as I've covered Peachtree Academy and all of that. The Van Ness name should be in my brain, man. But like that to me is amazing, because again, how many people probably saw that and was like, oh, well, and came up with all these thoughts and all
just
these.
Switch parties just to get elected or
exactly. Yeah. And then you sit here and listen and hear, and then it kills the misinformation. And and when you kill misinformation, it forces you to have to try to embrace a different perspective. Right. It forces you to have to do, whether you even if you're kicking and screaming when you're doing it, if you can no longer hold on to something that I thought was true, it forces me to have to find something else that is true.
Yeah. That's what I've heard about learning, right?
Yes.
Learning is all about, like, if you think you know it all,
Yes.
you'll never learn anything.
Absolutely.
Or you'll learn it the hard way, right?
Right?
When the truth smacks you in the face.
You'll definitely learn it the hard way.
But if you want to get better, you want to learn something, you have to come at it with some just a little bit of humility to go, I don't know it all.
Yeah.
So therefore I'm willing to learn something.
Yeah.
I always explain it like this too. When I'm going to give a couple episode examples.
Yes.
When we did our DEI conversation.
Yeah.
I
think that was the last one we did when it was just me and you, I think.
It might have been.
Yeah,
probably
I think so.
20, 30 episodes ago.
Right.
But and Scotty Scoggins mentioned it even. He's like, man, that was the most impactful one for him because he and I come from the similar worldview, right? We grew up white people in this kind of area, in this type of, socioeconomic situation.
Yeah.
DEI didn't make any sense to me, right? Like I needed to hear a black brother tell me, look, right, wrong, or indifferent, this is how it feels, right? This is what it feels like. And it's like, man, wait a minute. I've never felt that, right? So then to feel it with you, to have that kind of empathy, which is also something about learning, right? You can't be arrogant and empathic at the same time.
You can't,
either.
Man. It's like oil and water. It does not mix well at all.
So it's like, tell me what you feel, and then we can argue about the nuances of it all day long. But I want to hear how you feel about it.
Right.
That's a game changer for me.
Yeah.
At least now, does it change all of my perspectives about what those three letters might mean when they're used in that kind of bad word language?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it changes some of it, maybe it doesn't, but at least I look at it different, right? I feel it differently.
Well, and to me, that's the main thing because like in that episode. Mm-hmm. So I know there were people who listened to what I had to say about it and were like, yeah, right on, brother. Mm-hmm. And I know there were people that were listening and rolling their eyes. Mm-hmm. And there were others that were in between, like perhaps like you was like, wow, I never thought about it like that.
Right.
Our goal, when I, at least for me, when I'm talking about things like that, my goal is not to make you think exactly like I do. Mm-hmm. My goal is to say, all right, let me help you kind of remedy what I call familiar blindness. Like you're familiar with a certain way of living. You're familiar with a certain way of coming up in the world.
Not even your fault even necessarily, right?
Not even, it just is what it is. Right. So I was born in North Omaha, Nebraska. And the part of Omaha that I was born in, North Omaha, is the African-American side of town. I grew up with black parents. I grew up in a black neighborhood. I went to black church. Mm-hmm. I went to, my high school was a Jesuit high school. So I was one of a few black kids. I always say I felt like a raisin in a bowl of milk sometimes when I was at that school.
Catholic milk too.
Catholic milk meant that, man. No offense to the Catholics out there, but I mean that's how I felt.
Right.
But those perspectives are different from yours, but it not necessarily right or wrong. It's just different, and it breeds a different way of seeing things and a different way of feeling things. Mm-hmm. You probably never heard your father talk to you about growing up in Mississippi, having to cross the street when a white woman came walking his way because he grew up in Jim Crow.
Right. Right.
You didn't have that conversation, did you?
No.
You didn't have that. So if I had many of those conversations, not even just from my dad. I heard it from my uncles. I heard it from my aunts. I heard it from my cousins. I heard it from other people. Right. And those are things that get programmed into your head.
That shape
shape my worldview.
Right.
And so it doesn't mean just because you didn't have that growing up that your worldview necessarily is wrong. It's just incomplete.
Right.
And vice versa. I don't know what it felt like growing up in Newton County in the 1980s as a white guy.
Right.
Have no idea what that was like. It was probably much different than growing up in the 1980s as a black guy in the Midwest. I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if we can get people to acknowledge that about each other and then sit at the table with each other and say, hey, let's trade the war stories. Oh, wow, I never thought about it like that. That's a different perspective. I'll have to take that into consideration the next time I think about why a person votes this way or why a person does this. Again, like you said, it's not I'm not saying I'm wholesale coming to your side of the table.
Right.
I'm just saying I have a different perspective that arms me in helping to understand the people that are around me.
Right.
Yeah.
And when both parties feel that way and come to the table, it probably takes trust. Like it takes a long time to get to know each other and trust each other. And so we feel comfortable having these kind of conversations. I know not everybody has that same ability, but this is where I would challenge people then. Find ways to have that conversation, right? Like start building trust with your neighbors or your coworkers or wherever this is that happens, and just start there. Start small and have some small conversations. Test the waters and go, hey man, we're gonna have a weird conversation here for a minute, but just because I don't know, I can avoid it forever and act like I don't know your background, so I'm just gonna avoid it. Stay in my little bubble. I don't learn anything that way.
Or even not even that. Just I think even worse than avoiding it is pretending that it doesn't exist, or pretending that it's not real. Like that burns me sometimes when I hear people try to explain their perspective or try to explain their worldview, and because somebody else didn't live it, they try to act like it didn't exist. There's a whole nation of people out here that didn't grow up in whatever town or country or place you came from,
right?
That have different things to say about this. That mean that's, again, are they right or wrong? That's another question,
right?
But they exist.
Yeah, they're humans with human perspectives. Yeah. Another good one that I think that opened my eyes to the power of the platform, I suppose, just the ability to have these kind of open conversations about messiness, was when we had the district attorney, Randy McGinley.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially a prosecutor of the law.
Yes.
And we had a defense attorney, I probably butchered his name, but Camu Mason.
But
Attorney Mason, a public defender.
Right.
So you had these two coming at are
completely different and
different demographics, different races.
Like everything was different.
Yeah. In the courtroom on different sides of the, fighting different arguments.
Yes.
But at least they came together to say, all right, there's a gun issue we've got to deal with, right? They said, there's an issue. Let's don't act like it doesn't exist.
Right.
Let's bring it in here. And they asked, remember, they called us to say, hey, can we come talk about this? Because this is something we need to talk about.
Absolutely.
And, unfortunately, right after an incident again, of gun violence in our community, but they were able to go, there's an issue we must talk about.
Right.
We're coming at it from different perspectives.
Yep.
But the main thing, we're able to, in the messiness of the middle, they're like, here's some things we can do.
Yeah.
Dads step up, men step up. If they're not mentors, step up. They were able to put that out there and say, here's just one small way we can attack this thing.
Yep.
Is there legislation and all this? Yeah, we can argue about those things, and that's fine. That's messy too.
Yeah.
But at least here's what we can do on a human level.
Absolutely.
We can have these conversations. We can be men. We can step up. We can be mentors. Whatever we have to do.
Yeah.
To make our have our kids safer and more confident in who they are, and not have to lean on violence and those things.
I wish that we could do more of that. Like, let's prioritize how we handle a certain situation. Like if I'm at home and I spill, which has actually happened before, I spill something on the floor in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's it going to accomplish for me and my wife start going at it? What is that? How did you spill this? What were you doing? I don't know. Well, why did you put it at the edge of the refrigerator like that? It was your fault. No. Well, you should have. Well, you were carrying your phone and watching. You're always on your phone. Put your phone down. You would have been able to pay it. Hey. Let's just mop it up first.
A mess.
It's a mess here. Let's clean that up.
Right.
Let's work together there.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we can figure out, okay, how can we make sure that this doesn't happen again?
Yeah.
That's what I wish so much, that if we could just get to the point of, like you said, these two attorneys come and say, let's forget about all of our differences right now. There's a mess here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's sit down and agree that we need to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think from there, people, if we would do that more, people would see that some of those commonality solutions kind of birth out of that, as long as you're having those conversations.
Absolutely, man.
I don't know. That's just my thinking with it, man. But to that end, I think this platform, and I'm not just saying it because it's our platform, but I think this platform's done an amazing job of trying to kind of facilitate and model those kinds of discussions.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about it, man.
And we've got some more great guests coming up in the next few weeks and months, and then 2026 hits, and we got a whole new slate of folks coming. So it's exciting, man. I'm really excited about it. This episode of the Town Square Podcast is brought to you by our friend Leanne Long at RE/MAX Covington.
When it comes to buying or selling a home, experience matters, and nobody brings more experience to the table than Leanne Long. With over 37 years in real estate and more than 25 years as a leading realtor in the East Metro Atlanta market, Leanne is the name families across Newton Rockdale, Walton Morgan, Jasper, and Oconee counties trust.
Yeah, Leanne is more than just an agent. She's a professional, a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, and honored as Realtor of the Year. Her expertise in negotiations, property management, and even specialized transactions like short sales and foreclosures means that you're in the very best hands. Whether you're selling and want the highest return, or if you're searching for your dream home, Leanne's can-do attitude and proven results will guide you every step of the way.
Now, Leanne is the broker, owner, and leader of the team at RE/MAX around Atlanta East in Covington, and she's built a reputation for professionalism, integrity, and putting her clients first.
So if you're ready to make your next move, choose the realtor who knows this market inside and out.
Call Leanne Long at RE/MAX around Atlanta East in Covington today at 770-851-0380. You need to hear that again, don't you? 770-851-0380, or visit her online at leannelong.com.
Your story, as you were saying about you were given this hypothetical, if I spilled the milk. Quick story. When my kids were little, one of them spilled the milk. Right? It was literally a puddle of milk on the floor.
Yeah.
Now, instead of just wiping it up with a paper towel or whatever, they took the time to go to the kitchen drawer, get a piece of paper out, and they made a little placard, right? A little tent.
This is creative.
Of paper, and it said, "Caution, spilled milk."
You got some cerebral kids, Trey.
Right next to the spilled milk.
That is hilarious.
Didn't think, well, it should clean it up.
Right. Yeah.
Just be warning.
Just
wet
warning.
Floor.
It's there. Right. I'm not going to touch it. Not going to move it. I just want you to know it's there.
Kids
are. That is hilarious.
Well, that brings me to some I think a great segue for here we are, November, a week before Thanksgiving. We were real thankful, obviously, about just the podcast. And
absolutely.
Real thankful for our viewers and the folks who've been listening.
Absolutely.
Real thankful for our sponsors who actually give a few dollars.
I don't know which camera I'm supposed to look at, so I'm going to look at all of them and just be like, thank you guys.
They're getting some advertisement out of it, but every one of them are like, hey, we just believe in what you do.
Yeah.
So here, how can we help, fund what all this that costs money to do?
Absolutely.
I'm so grateful for those folks. And I'm going down my gratitude list. I'll get off of the podcast for a minute.
You're good.
But I was talking about my kids. So grateful for my kids. I mean, they're just wonderful. I got one in the Marines right now, and
so awesome.
She's stationed in Missouri.
Yeah.
Doing her MOS, or military occupational specialty. So she's learning to drive transports and things like the Humvees.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Shout out to, Happy Veterans Day to my daughter. It's a weird thing to say.
I was getting ready to say, that probably was out of, we always think we have these thoughts of what our kids will become. I don't know. Did you ever think
a Marine?
That your daughter would be a Marine?
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. Okay. But that's awesome, though.
It's so crazy though. Now when I see it, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You might actually have like leadership.
Right.
You might have rank in your future. I don't know. She likes to boss people around, so it might work out. Thankful for my family, man. Thankful for my twins. They're about to graduate in May, so there'll be a whole new season for them.
Bro, you're about to be an empty nester, huh?
Ooh, I know my wife will retire next year too. So you're talking about empty nesting and life change, and of course, in my gratitude list, we're certainly grateful for my wife. She's put up with this for a long time, so 30 years is pretty cool. And I'll do one more because I've made an announcement recently that I'll be working out my contract here with Eastridge Church, and that ends in 12/31. 2025, and that's 23 years of man, a lot of gratitude towards the opportunities they've given me, a couple of different pastors that have led here, and the ability to really have this unique job where, I do a lot of the administration for the church and leadership development and all the things that go with the business side of church and planting other churches.
Right.
But also like really championed me to be out in the community, serving the community in whatever way I could. And I thought just to be an extension of the church as a staffer, to be able to do that for as long as I have has been just such a blessing. I'm very grateful to our elders and pastors that, were allowed me to do that for so long. So
that is amazing.
Yeah. And now I'm grateful for any opportunity that comes along next.
Shameless plug here. Little virtual resume there.
Well, you know what I'm saying though?
No,
I'm really thankful to be in a community where there are opportunities.
Right.
We have all of these great industries. We have a bustling chamber of commerce and industrial development authority. We have, really good leaders in our community. I'm just grateful to even be on the lower rung of that somewhere, to just be in the room. Just to be in the room sometimes. So
that makes sense, man.
Man, I got a lot of gratitude.
That makes sense, man. That makes sense.
Real grateful.
Tons of things to be grateful for, man. Like I said, obviously the podcast goes without saying.
Mm-hmm. You've had a different year though, right?
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna try to talk about this and not choke up, man. But 2025, if I can say this, was a hell of a year.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It was, I don't, so on the top of my thankful list, I'm just thankful that I've survived it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's not hyperbole. That's not exaggeration. I'm telling you, like I made a post on Facebook this morning. I was like, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, and I'm, sorry for the reference for any of our non-Christian folks out there. But speaking from my faith worldview, I know that Satan's been trying to literally kill me this year.
Bullseye on the back.
Literally kill me this year. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, family, everything. I've always understood that spiritual warfare comes with, ministry and pastoring, and even what we do in the community is when we first began, and I think it's still a thread, even though we don't say it as much, but I think it's still a thread. This is an extension of our ministry in this community. When you start getting into those spaces and you're trying to make change happen, spiritual warfare is real, man.
Yeah.
And there is an enemy that does not like what we do.
Yeah.
And
I've heard a pastor say that when you are flying over enemy territory is when you have the bullseye.
Yes.
Like when we're going to take some ground here.
Yes.
For good, for the kingdom, for good, whatever you want to call it. You're in a territory now where you're going to take fire.
Yeah.
Because the enemy does not want that.
and I mean, and I think that's, there was a point in my life this year when I was like I said, I've always known that this comes with the territory. But then there was a point in my life this year where I was like, well, why is it so intense now? And God started showing me like, okay, you are making impact in two different communities. You're doing it through church. You're doing it through media. You have visible, very visible roles in the communities that you play. Your wife is doing civic duty visibly in the community. That's a lot of bullseye.
Yeah, right.
Because the potential impact is much greater than, and I'm not saying this to minimize anything else but like if I was just, as I've done before, if I was just like pastoring one church in one place and doing nothing else, there's going to be warfare there too.
Right.
But my buddy, my best friend back in Omaha, John Lucas, he's a pastor too. He used to say it like this: the higher the level, the greater the devil. And I found that out.
Yeah.
Man, did I find that out this year.
Yeah.
And so from I came into 2025 with just a lot of high hopes, a lot of just, the first couple of years, I came to James Pascal in 2023, and from 2023 through 2024, we were just killing it. And then everything else around my life was going, not perfect, but it was good. And so coming into 2025, I was like, all right, we're going to take this up another level. Man, February 26th, the day after my birthday, my 45th birthday, I found myself riding in the back of an ambulance on my way to the hospital.
You're supposed to have a cake hangover instead.
I was supposed to have a cake hangover, man, and a seafood hangover because I went to Red Lobster the night before. And they're telling me, I go into the urgent care. I don't even remember why I went. Something was going on. And he's standing there telling me I am either having or am about to have a heart attack. And I just was like, that's crazy. I got in that ambulance and I'm riding, and it's like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm really about to have a heart attack, depending on how severe it is, or if I am having one, like, I could either be okay or I could croak in the next 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That is scary to think about, man. And so in the back of that ambulance, I'm just sitting there thinking about that stuff. And I'm like, man, what if I, all these things going through my head, and I didn't get the chance to finish this, and I didn't get a chance to do this, and I didn't,
say this to all the right people.
Like what's my son, and what, and I'm texting people, and I'm texting my mom, and I'm texting Shonda, and I'm just like, hey, I don't know what's going on, but if this happens, do this. If this happens, do this. Like, that's just surreal to me, to wake up a day after your birthday thinking about what happens when you die. And it's like, dang. And then, but it felt like from that moment on, just everything, just one thing after another. And so that's a long-winded way of saying, I'm just thankful to still be here.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that I'm, in the Black church, we have this saying that our elder members will say, that I'm thankful that I'm clothed and in my right mind. I'm thankful that I got on clothes, and I'm thankful that I ain't gone crazy.
That's the opposite of those.
Because the opposite could have me. I'm naked and gone and crazy. Yeah. So I'm grateful, because here's the truth about it. It isn't even just about me. When you're in these positions and you're in these things, if I crash out, that impacts everybody.
Right.
It impacts the churches I serve. It impacts my family, my son.
Sure.
It impacts the people that I work for representing a news media company. It impacts us here. If I crash out, a whole lot of people are going to be affected by that.
It's a domino effect.
Yeah. And so I was just like, thank you. Like, that's my big thank you. Thank you, God, that I'm just still here. And then, I'm grateful for and thankful for kind of a new, like, God breathing new life on my journalism career, man. Like I never would have thought all these years in print media that I would have been in front of the TV, in front of the camera.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, it's still weird when I walk into the house, into a restaurant or to the bank, and people be like, I saw you. I'm like, where? And then I was like, oh yeah, I was just on TV. Okay.
I was in their living room.
Yeah, I was right there. I was in there. So, I mean, I could go on and on, but those, like, literally, man, like, it may not sound like much, but I'm just thankful to still be alive.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that God is still doing new things in my life in spite of the stuff that I've gone through. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Isaiah, I hear you. He's doing a new thing.
Man.
Well, I look, I in all transparency, I did see the post this morning. And, we won't get into all of it here, but I've walked with you through some of that stuff and seen, and I'm not saying that, I'm saying I've watched how difficult it has been, and the weight and heaviness of it. And that's, people are relating to that, right? Your church members will relate to that. Our community relates to, there are just seasons where, how do I even catch a breath, right? When you're talking about physical, the mental, the emotional toll that you have experienced this year, that's a lot, man.
It's a lot,
It is
man.
a lot.
And you get self-conscious because you start thinking, and it's like, you don't want people, like, when it feels like just something, always something, one thing after another, you get self-conscious talking about it, because you don't want people thinking, oh, well, here he goes again with something else. What's going on in his life? That play me a violin, get the world's biggest violin out and play it. We all go through stuff. But and I will say, I am thankful, like you through this, you became, I mean, we always been good and friends and all that, but you really did become a brother during this, because there were times when we would sit in the for those of you that don't know it, like, we'll leave here and be in the parking lot talking about this stuff for almost as long as we're doing one of these episodes. And then I get in my car after that, and if I'm going back to Augusta, I get to take that long drive, and it was good. It was therapeutic to have somebody that I could actually say, hey, man, let me throw this at you. And you're not looking at me as a pastor. You're not looking at me as a journalist. You're just looking at me as Gabe. And that's
my brother.
People need that, man. So I appreciate you for that, man.
Shoot, man, it's been good. Been good to do it together.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I think that's where, when you get to that level of transparency with one another,
right?
Some of those things that we do read in the Bible, and we're like, bear one another's burdens. What does that mean? Like, dude, when you can walk arm in arm, link arms together, you can carry that weight together. It makes a difference, man.
It's a huge difference.
It makes a difference when we're doing it together and not all alone.
I'm telling you, some of those conversations, I believe, literally saved my brain and my mind from literally crashing out on somebody, like seriously. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Yeah. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you are honest about it. And that post this morning, if for folks who haven't, it's November 4th.
Yeah.
If you follow Gabriel Stovall on Facebook, go to November 4th and find a morning.
Yeah. It's a long one.
But it's a good one, because it meant something to me. Like, to see. It's just rare, man. It's rare for pastors, particularly, but people in prominence, but pastors to go, hey, here's how I've struggled this year.
It is rare.
And then to go, this is just every psalm, basically. Like, here's how I've struggled. And then here's how the Lord has been faithful, you know, and here's how friends have been there. And here's how family have been there. Like, and church family, like, you give mad props to your church family, and then some mentors in your life that were there. Like, that's the way a good psalmist does it. Right? Like, you go, here's the struggles, here's the real life.
And I take heat for it, man. I take heat for it. Yeah, I mean,
too transparent, you share too much.
People, it shows weakness, all these different things. And I say, you know what? And I started that post off by saying, I will never apologize for my transparency, because it's part of, I have this saying, I think I put it on a t-shirt or something one day. I have this saying God gave me years ago that says, transparency is ministry. And so it's part of my mission to help people humanize the faith, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, we
what does it look like every day?
Every freaking day, man. Like, it's like I grew up in Sunday school, and we had these little, when I was a kid, we had these little, we didn't have books when I was like, we were real young, but we had these little pamphlets that had the cartoon character drawings of the disciples and whoever the characters were. And it always makes me laugh, because I remember back in the day, like, if it was disciples, or if it was Jesus, or if it was Mary, or somebody like that, they would like be all pleasant looking, and they'd have this smile, and the faces glowing, may have a little halo over the top of their head. But then the ones that were coming out, they were like, sinister looking, their eyebrows are down like this and all that. But it painted this picture that was like, well, if you're good, then you're always going to be smiling, and you're always going to be glowing, and I'm like, man, that's so inaccurate. Like, sometimes I feel like the villain, even in the midst of trying to be the good person. And that's just not life. I don't care how saved you are.
No, the rain falls on the wicked.
Man, come on. That's listen. That's true.
Yeah. And it's why we have the Psalm. It's why we have the Book of Psalms.
It is.
It's for us to all. You can relate. Every Psalm is something that we all deal with in life, and and yet it's somehow a song of praise to the Lord. So,
right.
Man, we didn't get to preaching on here.
Listen, I didn't mean. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to preach, but
I jumped in there.
I'm trying to tell you, somebody hopefully was blessed by that.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
But yeah, man, and so I'm I'll say this too. I'm thankful for I just knowing that we'll have another year ahead of us, Lord willing, to do this work here. Like, I'm excited about, like, I'm gonna tell you, like, this is what I want to, I definitely want us to keep on bringing people who are, movers and shakers in this community, helping others know, okay, this is who they are. This is what you think they do, but this is what they really do. Like, I love that. But I want to see us do like you said, you talked about the extremes of, like, okay, I had a Stephanie Lindsay one episode, had a Marshall McCart the other. I want to bring those two together, not them two specifically, but I'm just saying those types of
in the same
differences,
room.
Put them in the same room, and let's have a discussion about these. Yes. Listen, I'm telling you, like, that's the stuff I want to see us start doing.
Someone who's maybe a little pro growth, and someone who's like, no more,
man. Yeah. Like Rivian and anti-Rivian, all of that, man. And not to try to spark controversy or try to do any of that, but again, let's model to people that we really can be on really far sides of the spectrum, but still find ways to come together and talk constructively.
Absolutely.
And I what better way to do that than to put people in the room who are on the either side. Right. And here we are in the middle, refereeing. Hold on, wait, don't climb over the table now. No, I don't think
you can't call her that.
Yeah. We'll have to edit that part out, Trey. But no, when I think about our future, I like thinking about those kinds of things. Yeah.
And I will just throw it out there. If people have ideas for some of that, you can find us on Facebook, the Town Square Podcast. Our Facebook page is wide open. There's thousands of folks who are there and can interact. So let us know. Let us know what you think, who you think good guests might be. And, we'll talk to them, see if we can get them in here and see if they're willing to play nicely and have a messy middle conversation. We'd love to do that.
Yes.
Let us know what you want to see, what you want to hear too.
Absolutely.
You want to wrap it up, man?
Trey, I got one more thankful thing.
Okay.
My wife is going to finally let me put up the Christmas tree.
Oh, gosh. It's November 4th, man.
But it'll be November 18th by the time people hear this.
All right.
And I just want people to know that by the time you hear this, my tree will be up.
Man, okay. Ours probably won't, because
see, I know you're more like her.
Well, we wait till Thanksgiving break, and now, we have in the past done it the few days before Thanksgiving. But this year, my daughter's coming home for Thanksgiving, so I don't know if we're going to try to decorate before she gets home or if we'll try to do it with her here. So I don't know how that works.
That'd be cool.
I'll leave that up to my wife.
See, I start playing Christmas music November 1st, 12:01 a.m.
What was the first song?
The first song, so actually...
You like the story.
Actually it was, everybody thought it was going to be Temptation's Silent Night. What it actually was, what was that? What is that song? I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas.
Bing Crosby?
Bing Crosby.
No
so
kidding.
I listened to the Bing Crosby version first.
Okay.
Then I listened to the kind of the quartet group, the Stillers, I think is what that's called. It's the version that's on Home Alone. If you remember that, I don't know.
I hear you, but I don't know, man.
Yeah. I have to find that. But there's a black quartet group that sings it. But I listened to the Bing Crosby group first. The Bing Crosby version first. It's just something about that, man, that just
Even a White Christmas.
Oh man,
you ever seen one?
Seen a White Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, plenty.
Oh, in Omaha. Yeah,
plenty.
Okay.
I don't really want a White Christmas. I just
not here in the South.
No, I don't want one.
I'm dreaming of a slushy,
I'm
messy.
dreaming of a warm Christmas. How about that? 80 degrees. We could fire the grill up. That's the kind of Christmas I want now.
That's interesting.
I'm trying to.
You don't tie the two things together necessarily. The cold
not
weather
anymore. I hate it. I hate cold weather.
Okay.
I hated it when I was in Nebraska. Snow lost its significance for me after I graduated high school.
Okay.
Because snow days, they don't care about snow days at work. Back up there, because we got the snow plows and the trucks and everything.
Just get here.
6 inches. Oh yeah, just get here by 10. You could do it.
This episode of the Town Square Podcast is brought to you by Luther Rice College and Seminary. A community's well-being often reflects the spiritual health of its people. That's why a local Christian college like Luther Rice is a critical voice in our time and culture.
You're absolutely right, Trey. And for me, this is more than just an ad read because I'm actually a Luther Rice alumnus. So my degree there helped prepare me not only for ministry, but also for engaging with the community in meaningful ways.
Yeah, same here. I trusted Luther Rice for my education too, and I can tell you firsthand, they're committed to shaping leaders who impact the church, the marketplace, and the world.
Absolutely. So listen, whether you're a high school student looking for a biblically based dual enrollment option, an adult learner wanting to deepen your biblical knowledge, or a working professional looking for development to impact your workplace, Luther Rice is a trusted option for continuing your education from a Christian worldview.
Yes, every program is 100% online and designed for your unique calling, from dual enrollment and undergraduate degrees to certificate programs and doctorate level study. They have options for the entire community that are biblical, affordable, accredited, and completely online.
All right, so here's the call to action. Take your next step toward your calling. Visit lutherrice.edu to learn more. Again, that's lutherrice.edu.
If it's 38 degrees, we're like, oh, we might cancel school.
We might cancel. And all the weather, I love it here because all you have to do here is just mention snow in the forecast and everything is shut down.
That's right.
I love
Bread,
it, man.
milk,
everything's shut down. Bread, milk, eggs are gone. And I'm like, what are y'all going to do? Make egg sandwiches? Like, what?
milk
and egg sandwiches. But yes, I'm thankful. I'm thankful. Sorry for all you Scrooges out there, but I'm thankful that I get to put up my Christmas tree, man. So that's it.
And I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving when the day comes. Do y'all do the traditional turkey?
Not all the time.
Ham,
not
honey baked ham.
All the time. See, we're firing the grill up for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
yeah. See,
you're just blowing all of these things out of the water.
Wife can't eat turkey for whatever reason. It's something in the enzymes. It doesn't. She can't digest it. She likes it, can't digest it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we can cook all the things. I just want some good dressing. I like some good.
That's important.
Dressing. Got to have it with the gravy and all that. Yeah, we can cook anything else. That's fine. I say, Thanksgiving is Christmas practice. That's all it is. Like,
it's my favorite holiday.
I love it.
Thanksgiving.
I love it.
I like to eat. I like the family around.
Yeah,
and then watch football. That's like no gifts or exchange.
Just no pressure of the gifts and all that. I will say that's a good thing. But Christmas is a little bit more stressful. You got to do all these things. But I lump it all together. The holiday season is here. I love the holiday season, man. I love it. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a good time. I can't wait for it myself. And looking forward to seeing my daughter. That'll be fun. And, all the other things that happen at Thanksgiving. So.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, look, I'm thankful for you, Gabe.
I'm thankful for you, brother. I'm not just saying as a throwaway statement. That's the truth.
Appreciate it.
I am.
And Jacob, on the ones and twos, thankful for you too, buddy.
We love you, bro. We couldn't do it without you. Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Well, for the Town Square Podcast, we're signing off, and we'll see you next time.
All righty.